what happened this morning is uncalled for.
Go ahead.
Actually, what happened this morning is actually uncalled for. You can see how the defendant, Nnamdi Kanu, decided to represent himself. He asked the lawyers with the legal team that we should stop, that he wants to speak. Because Nnamdi Kanu is feeling that Nigeria is not fair to him. He's just a human rights activist agitating for self-determination with reasons. And one expected the federal government to address all those reasons that gave rise to this agitation. Of course, we also discovered that some other persons that are having this similar issue with Nnamdi Kanu. I'm talking about the offense of terrorism, Showore from the west, the president of Mieti Allah Kato from the north, Sondibo. Their own has been settled. Why is Nnamdi Kanu still in the detention? And the people are saying that it's because he's an Igbo. Buhari did it because he's the president. Now Tinubu has come from the west. And this is not good for this country in any way. So we feel that there is still a room for them to withdraw these charges and so that we have peace. Of course, you now discover that the Court of Appeal, non-Court of Appeal is sitting in the whole of Southeast. The judges, the federal judges in the Southeast, judges of National Industrial Court, Federal High Court, Court of Appeal, they are not sitting because of the threats given by some persons saying that there is no justice in this country. So you can see how what Nnamdi Kanu is saying. I tried, though as a lawyer, is uncalled for, but I try to see his feelings.
Now, we saw your client use so many unprintable names.
Yes, of course, which I did not consent to. Of course, because what we are, as a lawyer, we have our rules of ethics. And you discover that when we are trying to calm him down, he said that we should sit down and walk away, that we should not represent him again. So he decided, so he's not a lawyer, so, and I think the judge and the federal government understand. Because many people have applied to the federal government, they are Afenifere. Many other persons have applied, has begged the federal government, please use political means to resolve this particular matter, releasing Nnamdi Kanu so that we have peace. So, and now the judge, on the issue of the judge recusing herself, there is a subsisting court order. That's what Nnamdi Kanu is saying. One expected the judge to first of all set aside that order. I hear them say, you give the order, you have the right to set aside the order. And even that to set aside the order, you to have now give way for you to have the decision into the matter. Thank you and God bless you.
So does it mean now you no longer represent?
Except he called us and asked us to continue. From what is in the court now, he has, maybe because of today's proceedings, are you going to say, because I have a letter he gave me, and that letter has not been withdrawn. So if he wrote to me and asked me, I will withdraw.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Your name or
Maxwell Opera is my name. A member of the
How do you react to today's proceedings? We've seen that the case could not even go on as planned, and now she has adjourned the case sine die. What's the way forward?
Well, there's no way this case could have gone on anywhere, because in the first place, the court had lost jurisdiction to sit over this case since September last year. So we came here today on a limited appearance. We appeared under protest out of utmost respect for the judge and for the court, to listen to the court as to the reasons why we were invited before the same court that was recused in September last year. Nigerian public needs to understand the nature of a recusal. A recusal comes as a court order, and even non-lawyers are aware that once an order of court is made, the only way you can set it aside is to take it on appeal. Nobody appealed this order. The order is extant and subsisting, is still valid, and we were invited today to be informed about some memo from the chief judge that we don't even have a copy of the memo. So our submission on the record is that the court stands recused until that order is set aside.
Now, sir, the judge, Justice Bitan Yako, has adjourned this case sine die. What is the implication for your client?
Well, sine die is a word of art for indefinite adjournment. So she had no business. The court, like I said before, even having the case before her today. So adjourning it, sine die or not, really, it doesn't apply. But remember that we had requested this adjournment sine die last year, but it wasn't granted.
So
but now,
next?
well, it's up to the judiciary and the federal government. We are not the prosecutor, we are the defense. You throw the ball to us and we catch the ball. We cannot reinstitute the case. Let them do the right thing. Our client recused the judge and the judge consented to the recusal through a coroner. So we await the day that this case will be recalendared before a new judge to try it. We are not afraid of trial, but we are afraid of injustice.
And aren't you scared that it might come back to her again? What if it's brought back to her court?
Well, under the Constitution, it shall be resisted. It will be unconstitutional to have the same judge who stands recused to recalendar the same case and try it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh.